Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about specifically Colorado's anti-gun Democrats, proving why, once again, IMET disqualifications need to be happening every seat of power in this country. Obviously, for those that haven't heard and haven't been paying attention the last couple of days, whether it be to some stuff I mentioned in the last couple episodes here, or whether it be to Honda's chat last night where we talked about it quite a bit. There was a marathon session in Colorado the other day. You had Democrats basically spend 17 hours being filibustered by a handful of Republicans that exist in that state right now. And basically, it ended in a situation where the Republican Party in Colorado has no actual ability to do anything. And so you had Democrats basically ram through a bunch of anti-gun bullshit and safe injection sites and basically pro-abortion crap as well on top of that is what it is, dude. So anyway, we're going to talk about some of that today right now. And one of the things that was very interesting was this particular tweet that was put out. Actually, there's two sets of tweets, actually, and I'm forgetting which one of these people is which. I know one of them is I think, state senator in Colorado, and the other one I want to say is a Moms Demand Action member, and I can't remember which is which. I want to say the top one is the actual state senator, and the other one is a MDA member is what it is. So you had Rhonda Fields, who I'm pretty sure is a state senator is what it is, said, about last night, Colorado Senate Dems courageously lead the way to advance SB 170, SB 169, SB 168 to third reading and final passage to, quote, improve Colorado red flag laws, raise the age of purchasing a firearm, and survivors to seek accountability, which is really talking about there, by the way. So essentially what they did was they did red flag law expansion, which now allows for a whole bunch of different people to, basically red flag is what it is. I forget exactly what it was to begin with in Colorado. I want to say it was maybe like friends and family only or something like that. And now it's basically any law enforcement. So anybody you would have a problem with, it's a cop or whatever the case be, can now fucking falsely red flag you. Quote unquote mental health professionals, which again, those people are all a bunch of leftist nuts in most cases, especially in the fucking state of Colorado. What was the other ones? Like various like judges and like other shit like that is what it is, dude. So it's all unconstitutional crap is what it is really what it ends up being, dude. And then they basically took the age of purchase for long guns from 18 to 21 now, which by the way is completely unconstitutional. There's been at least two rulings in the past couple of years now that basically was circuit court rulings where it specifically said, no, you cannot infringe on the laws of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds that are legal adults right now that can easily go into our military service. They should still be able to have the ability to purchase long guns is what it is, whether it be, rifles or shotguns, whatever the case be. Which honestly, I'm going to say it like it is, dude. I think it's absolute bullshit for the past, X amount of decades that we've even had fucking 21 over for handguns at this point in this country's history right now, dude. Because the thing of it is, right now, the state of Ohio, I can do a private sale right now with somebody 18, 19, or 20 years old and sell them a fucking handgun. Yet if they go to an FFL, they have to be 21 and over to buy one. It's absolute garbage, dude, entirely. Now, granted, that being said, am I going to do a bunch of private sales with 18, 19, 20-year-olds? Probably not. That being said, if it was like, a nephew or something of a fucking family, or like if it was like the nephew of like my friend or whatever the case be, or like a niece of my family friend or whatever the case be, would I sell to that kid? Maybe. It depends. It depends on the situation, honestly, is what it is, dude. So, but yeah, the entire point is it's like I have the legal ability to do that stuff, is what it is, man, in this state. And a lot of other states are too as well. Texas has the same thing, is what it is, man. And it should be legal at that point because, again, it's like if this person in the fucking, whatever, they should be able to purchase what it is, dude. And if they can sit there and join our military and be able to have an actual handgun in our fucking military for 3 fucking years, why shouldn't they be able to have one in regular society is what it is, dude. So yeah, it's a bunch of crap entirely. But what was the other one here? So yeah, it was raised age. Oh yeah, survivors seek accountability. So basically what that is, again, that directly infringes upon the Lawful Commerce in Arms Act of, I forget exactly when that was created. I think it was around the time of the Hughes Amendment of 86, maybe, is when Lawful Commerce in Arms Act became a thing. Maybe it was 70s. I forget exactly which one. But basically, what the Lawful Commerce in Arms Act is a federal ruling. I believe it's actually federal law is what it actually is now. And essentially what it does is it allows for people not to be able to sue gun makers based on the fact that their product was used by a criminal or something like that. It also, by the way, would allow if, say, for instance, you were shooting a gun, like a rifle or something like that, or even a handgun for that matter, and it blows up in your fucking hand, or, catastrophic failure or something like that, like a slide cracks or something like that, or, with an AR and stuff like that, it would be like a lower break-in or something like that, or blowing out or whatever the case be. You can legally sue the fucking gun manufacturer of that firearm for it being a defective firearm is what it is. Now, granted, if you're going to do something stupid, like, I don't know, put a 300 blackout into a 5.56 upper, you're just a fucking dumbass, and that's all on you, bro. And no, you're not going to be able to lawsuit that fucking company over that one because you're an idiot, is what it is. You use the wrong ammunition is what it ends up being. But yeah, if it was like an actual failure in the firearm itself, whatever the case be, or like, for instance, I believe it was the SIG P320s that you could basically jiggle and they were firing on their own and stuff like that, or you had a bunch of cops being able to sue these gun manufacturers now over that one, specifically SIG is what it was. It's stuff like that. You can still do that stuff under the Lawful Commerce and Arms Act. What you cannot do is sit there and be like, oh, my fucking child, got shot in a mass shooting in a gun-free zone. I'm going to go and sue fucking Ruger or sue fucking Smith & Wesson or whatever the case be because that was the AR that was used by some fucking nut job is what it is, dude, to go commit that massacre. And that's exactly what the pieces of shit in Colorado are doing because these Democrats are actively trying to fuck people over and are trying to basically fuck with the Second Amendment and these gun manufacturers. And in reality, right then and there, any judge that has any fucking fortitude in this country and is not a fucking activist piece of shit should be tossing that shit out the window immediately, dude. It should be like, nope, can't do that. Fuck yourself. You're out of office now is what it is. And honestly, in a true just world right now, every single one of these Democrats that push that crap through would all be in jail right now, dude, in Colorado, because they're all committing deprivation of rights or laws, what it is, dude. Because they're trying to deprive a gun company of being able to make a lawful product for a consumer base and not risk being sued by a bunch of douchebags because their product is misused by some fucking criminals, what it is, dude. So, anyway, going back to the other part of that specific tweet, though, you had the other person there whose name was Marianne Goodland say SB 1219, a 3-day waiting period for delivery of a firearm after purchase, passes on 42 to 20 vote. 2 Democrats, which were named Sabati and Bob Marshall, vote with Colorado House GOP, 1 member excused, being that Luck person. So I'm guessing they didn't want to vote either way is what it was, dude. So they're just like, yeah, I don't want to, I'm basically going to be like a, neutral party on this kind of thing, or whatever the case be, because they don't want to get thrown out in the next election cycle. But yeah, good on these 2 blue dog Democrats, dude, is what it is, dude. Because they're actually listening to their constituents is what it is, man. And that's the problem right now, is you have, and I talked with Saberwolf, who's a buddy of Honda's actually the other day on Honda's Discord. And the thing with what Saberwolf was talking about, because he used to live in Colorado, he was discussing how the biggest issue currently is that you have these people that will get elected into office or whatever the case be and not actually abide by what the constituency wants, dude. And that's the biggest problem I've seen in politics in general in this country is you have these people being elected by we the people, their constituents, we're their bosses is what it is at the end of the day, man. And it's, by the way, exactly why recall voting should be in all 50 states at this point across the board. And we should be able to remove these people whenever the fuck we feel like is what it is, dude. If we, can prove that they're committing like various, deprivation of rights or code of law charges or anything else for that matter while they're in office there, whether they're directly depriving us of our rights or whatever the case be, or they're completely infringing upon the oath that they took and sort of uphold the Constitution is what it is, dude. And they're just being a bunch of oath-breaking scumbags is what it is. But the entire point of the matter is that you have these people that don't actually give a shit about listening to the constituency itself that voted them in there. And instead they're just like, no, let me go do my own fucking thing and vote with party line crap is what it is, dude. And it's like, fuck that, dude. No. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican, an independent, a fucking libertarian, a Green Party candidate, whatever the case be, dude. I don't care what your fucking party ideals are, dude. You are elected by X amount of people from the state in that district, whether it be District 24, District 37, or District 54, or District 85, or whatever the hell it is. Your job is to listen to what the constituents that voted you into office want you to do for them and vote the way that they want you to vote. And now, granted, that being said, if you have 100,000 people saying, hey, vote for gun control, that's one thing. If you have 100,000 people saying, no, fuck you, stop trying to private us of our rights, you vote against the fucking gun control, bitches. And it's as simple as that, really. And that's the biggest problem right now that we're seeing, dude, is they're not doing that kind of stuff. They're always doing party line crap is what it is, dude. And that's what I'm saying. Good on those two dudes, who I'm only assuming are two men at this point, honestly, that voted against the shit, dude. That voted with the Republican Party in the Colorado State House there is what it is, dude. And we saw the same thing, actually, when it came to South Carolina recently. You had, I think it was like 4 or 5 blue dog Democrats, all men, by the way, who were like, no, we're going to vote with the GOP on this one, and we're going to actually vote through a awesome version of constitutional carry that's also a Second Amendment Preservation Act on top of that. And they did, and it passed like really fucking high margins out of the House there in South Carolina the other day. Now, granted, unfortunately, they seem to be sitting on the state Senate right now, so it'll be interesting to see if that actually moves forward at any point in this, current week or so is what it is now. And we'll see, what happens by the end of the week here of pretty much like the 18th or so, I think is what it'll be, 17th, somewhere in there, if it actually passes through and gets into their state Senate for votes and stuff like that or not. Or if it's going to be the end of the month, and we'll see it basically be just sort of sitting there and what have you and whatnot, dude. So, because again, if South Carolina works the way Ohio does, it basically, as far as my understanding would be you'd have to have it would go through the committee hearings in the Senate side right now, which would take at least, I believe, 2 of them, I want to say, if not 3, because you would usually, at least for the state of Ohio anyway, what it is you basically pass it, out of the House side or whatever the case be, some kind of bill there or whatever. And then it goes to the Senate side, and you have basically 3 different committee hearings. One is first introduction. The second is usually some kind of testimony hearing, either for or against it. And then the third one is the opposite of that. It's basically if you had the people that were testifying in the second hearing that were opposed to it, now it's going to be the proponent side of it. The people that are actually for it will be the third hearing. And then they'll usually vote out of committee or something after that. Now, granted, that being said, back in, I want to say 2021, when we were actually doing constitutional carry here, you had, I think, like 5 hearings or something like that in the House Oversight Committee before it finally got voted out of committee, because scumbag Shane Wilkin, who's now a state senator in the state of Ohio, sat on his fucking hands for over a year and fucked us over. And we could have easily been 22-22. Shane, you fucking piece of shit. But no, what did you do? You fucking sat on your goddamn hands because you weren't getting fucking paid enough money to actually pass through pro-2A legislation, you fucking scumbag rhino piece of shit. And I'll call him on that one, dude, many, many times, because I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or Republican in the state of Ohio, dude. If you're going to be a career scumbag, I'm going to call you out as a career fucking scumbag that you are, Shane Wilkin. And you're not the only one, dude. Fucking everybody else is too, for that matter. All you motherfuckers voted for House are all scumbags too, dude. And you should all be investigated right now for various bribes yourself at this point. And pay to play scandals y'all are committing currently in the state house right now. So, anyways, trying to see if there's anything else I want to talk about today. Okay. So I am on Twitter right now. Obviously, I can't respond to anything because of my, weak ban, but I can look at shit as what it is now. One of the things that popped up in my feed here is talking about Colorado Democrat stuff here. This is Colorado Senate Dems. Colorado Senate Democrats just passed 3 bills to prevent gun violence and save lives, which is an absolute lie, by the way. Expand Colorado's red flag law, allow survivors and their families to seek accountability against gun manufacturers, all unconstitutional, by the way, and increase minimum age of purchase to 21. What a bunch of fucking Nazis, dude, for real. So basically, you have something that should have already been deemed unconstitutional at a federal level with the Supreme Court. You have a second thing that's already illegal to do and will be, by the way, overturned in courts in the future now. And then, again, third one, the minimum age thing. It's all unconstitutional, dude. Like, every single one of these people that voted this crap through need to be in prison right now, dude. They all need to be in Colorado State Prison currently. And it's a bunch of shit they're not, is what it is, dude. So, yeah, it's just fucking infuriating beyond belief, is what it is, dude. And then, of course, right underneath that, you had one of their shitty ass state senators there bitching and moaning about, like, oh, we did it, we passed all this unconstitutional shit now. Yeah, Chandra Vasquez Lewis. We did it. SB 23-168 passed. It's time to hold firearms industry accountable to the same rules that every other business has to follow. Time to allow gun violence victims access to justice. Okay, so first off, you dumb cunt, Sonia. Again, every other fucking company is under the same rules as firearms manufacturers because you cannot sue car manufacturers for all kinds of bullshit, dude, is what it is. You cannot sit there and actively sue a fucking car company because some drunk driver killed a bunch of people. And it's the same thing with gun manufacturers, dude. You cannot sue them based on the fact that your fucking family died in a gun-free zone. So good fucking luck with that, you stupid cunt. And this is again why I said this before, dude. These people, whether it be Sonia Vasquez, Lewis, or whoever the fuck else, dude, for that matter, it's time for us as gun organizations. Obviously, I can't do it because I don't have fucking money to do it, is what it is, dude. But it's time for the federal ones. It's time for the GOAs. It's time for the NRAs. It's time for the FPCs, etc., dude, to sit there and take some money and start individually lawsuiting state lawmakers at this point, dude. Every single time one of these people does some shit, dude, sue them into the fucking ground. Take them to a personal fucking court is what it is, dude. And do what needs to be done to start fucking bankrupting these motherfuckers. That's what it's going to take, honestly. So, it could be that I'm under a week ban right now. It's probably what it is. It's probably me being banned for the next week or so. I'll be back on, should be back on Sunday afternoon. Then after that 7-day period ends up on my thing there. So, yeah, the network is still on there. I can't post anything is what it is, dude, because of the 7-day ban right now, because of the Shannon Watts thing I talked about in the last episode. But, yeah, it's a bunch of shit though either way with these fucking Colorado Democrats, dude. And I'm so sick and tired of it, is what it is, man. Because you're not doing anything legal, dude. You're everything you're doing is illegal at this point. It's all illegal. It's all unconstitutional. And it's fucking ridiculous, dude. You have no legal right to do any of this shit, dude. Absolutely zero legal right to do any of it, man. But yet they're still pushing it forward, dude. And they're not being held to account. And again, this is what I talk about deprivation of rights under color of law all the time. Because what these people are doing right now is they are depriving a fucking firearms manufacturer the legal ability to sell a legal product and make a legal product without having fucking frivolous lawsuit bullshit pushed against it, dude. And having to fight that in the court battles right now. It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And I'm fucking sick of it. I really am. And everybody else should be at this point too, man. If you're not, you need to be, honestly. If you're pro 2A, you need to be. That's what it is, man. Because it's all unconstitutional crap is what it is. So, anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though. I was going to do one about Gabby Giffords at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not now. We've already talked about her several times. Is what it is, dude. She's a legit demon, is what it is. And the woman's just a psychopath in general. The shit going on there in Florida, you have Giffords and company basically doing $100,000 plus buy to lie, is what it is, dude. They're lying in papers. They were lying about what people can actually do and buy and everything else like that. I think it was Legally Armed America did a great video on it the other day. It was a couple minutes, and it was basically how you had them do like this full page ad buy and a bunch of papers and stuff like that, where you had to like flip it over to actually read it. Is what it was. and it was talking about some dude buying a gun in a bar, and it's like, well, first of all, you have a dude committing multiple felonies to get that done then, lady, because you don't know nothing about fucking firearms purchasing. But again, I'm not surprised that Gabby Giffords doesn't think about purchasing firearms, dude, when her husband, Mark Kelly, literally tried to commit a straw purchase after she got shot in the fucking head years ago, is what it is, dude. And had to have part of her fucking brain scooped out to save her fucking life at that point, dude. And by the way, for that alone right there, Mark Kelly's ass should be currently in prison on that one for fucking straw purchasing stuff, dude, and should have never been allowed to run for fucking federal senate is what it is, man. So, anyway. That being said, that's pretty much where we're at for the day, though, like I said. It's a bunch of shit, though, dude. It's a bunch of shit to sit there and watch this crap happen there in Colorado. And I honestly, I hope the Firearms Policy Coalition or Gun Owners of America or somebody like that does their job right now, dude, and starts the lawsuit train right now, dude, because it needs to happen right now. You need to have Colorado Democrats get their asses sued into oblivion as a whole, and individually for that matter, dude. And we do what needs to be done to finally take these fuckers out once and for all. And that's the thing, dude. Like, this is the one thing I always hated about people on the right is what it is, dude. Where they're like, oh, we need to be so above the left and stuff like that. No, you don't, dude. You know what you need to do? You need to walk up, you need to kick these fuckers' knees out and punch them in the fucking face. You need to stoop lower than their asses, dude. Hell, you need to go underneath and fucking uppercut their asses out of nowhere. Seriously. That's what we need to be doing right now, dude. Metaphorically speaking, just to make sure everybody knows that one. I'm not talking about physical violence or anything like that. I'm talking about metaphorically, kick out their fucking knees and punch them in the fucking face. You know, and the face punch is basically, no, we're not letting you infringe on our rights. Bang, fucking lawsuit city is what it is, dude. And so forth and so on. And that's what needs to happen, honestly. And I guarantee if we do that kind of stuff, we can win. We can win this battle very simply, dude. The problem is, it takes money to sue right now. There's a reason why I haven't started a lawsuit against Andrew Ginther and the Columbus City Council right now over the bullshit mag ban that's going into effect in July 1st. Because the network does not have money right now, dude. We don't have the money in the coffers to actually start the lawsuit. So unless we would be able to get funded, or unless somebody could basically find us a pro bono lawyer that would take it without getting paid and stuff like that, because they're going to make money off the lawsuit at some point, there's what it is. We can't actually sue right now. So, anyway. Other than that, that's where we're at for the day. I'll be back at some point again. Over something, I'm not sure what yet. We might just do another one today or something. I might just change that Gabby Giffords one or whatever and just talk about some stuff going on here at the, like just various stories of the day kind of thing, or whatever, from like Breitbart, maybe like Gateway Pundit and stuff like that or something for a little bit of time or something here. Because there is some interesting stuff going on. And definitely want to talk about some of the shit going on here currently with the bank runs and stuff like that. That's what it is, man. So, but other than that, that's pretty much where we're at for the day. I'm actually trying to see if we can find anything that I really want to talk about here. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything on Gateway Pundit I really want to talk about on the next episode or not here. I don't really find much of it. Well, I want to talk about this B-Dubs fucking lawsuit that some guys apparently suing Buffalo Wild Wings over, which I think is funny. But yeah, other than that, we'll talk about that for a little bit. We'll also talk about a couple other things on the on Breitbart and whatnot. But other than that, that's it for this one. I'll be back again for another one here in a few minutes. Until then, I will see you guys in the next one.